common with the other religious faiths visiting us here today, we come to worship, to raise to worth the things that matter most to us, and to be with each other, to support each other, to celebrate community. And today, that concept of community is just a little more diverse than usual. It's a great joy, as last year we had to cancel. Please join us after the service for coffee, tea, a light lunch and conversation. I thought I'd put this in now. There will be no collection, which those of you who visited the church before will be expecting toward the end of the service. And that's because of the COVID concerns, and what we've got instead is a cash point in the foyer and also a chalice for cash. So that's a little bit of a difference that you may or may not have been expecting. Now, today we don't have a story, but we do have slides for all ages. When I went to Tamil Nadu, which is the southernmost state of India, for the second time, we were there for Christmas. Well, there was no roast bird or pudding or crackers. We had a tip-top Indian meal with mango lassi instead of wine. It was in the middle of the day, which is when we do the big meal for Christmas Day at home. But what surprised me were the illuminated stars in the windows of homes at night. There couldn't be this many Christians, I thought. And indeed, I did discover that many of the Hindus tended to join in, or at least acknowledge, the special celebrations of their neighbours, be they Christian or otherwise. And the star is particularly appropriate as opposed to the Santa or reindeer or the Nativity, because Diwali precedes Christmas, and that's the festival of light, the triumph of good over evil. And the star is something that's in common, really, with both traditions. What I have to share with people of all ages and traditions today are some slides of the Nativity, the birth of Jesus Christ. We know that St. Francis of Assisi sought and gained permission from the reigning Pope to stage a live nativity with real people and animals. But nativity scenes precede that. This one was found in the catacombs of Rome and dates from about 400 AD. As Christianity dominated Europe, the figures in the nativity lightened up. And to this day, you see a lot of blonde, blue-eyed, holy families depicted. An Australian woman, Elizabeth van Mooricom-Shedder, who was a leading light of the International Nativity Crib Association, was a keen supporter of diversity and promoted sharing. Now, Ursula Paniak is a Yupik Eskimo from Chivak, Alaska. Yupik is Western Eskimo, related culturally to the Inuit people. The faces are freeze-bleached seal, the eyes are trade beads, beaver beard, wolf ruff on Mary's dress, and spotted steel muckmucks over the mitts of Joseph. The crib is a little birch basket, and Joseph's robe is made from Ursula's husband's heating pad cover. By contrast, this nativity is created anew every year by a Mexican clay artist and displayed in the family's shop window. Our old minister, Rob McPherson, used to say it was unnecessary to accept the traditional Christian theology on the identity and significance of Jesus to appreciate the story of the Christmas Nativity. And my final slide should show that. It's from the Humanist Society in America. Every child is holy. It is with great pleasure that I conduct this year's Multifaith celebration at our Unitarian Church. For those of you unfamiliar with Unitarian history, and that probably includes some Unitarians, our particular take on Christianity emerges clearly during the Reformation, when the young king of Romania was aghast at the violence that accompanied differences of opinion during the Reformation, so much so that he passed the Edict of Torta, which was essentially an edict of freedom of religious belief and expression. It lasted just long enough to establish Unitarianism as a state-sanctioned religion. Sadly, the spirit of the age took over again, and Ferenc David died in a Romanian jail for denying the doctrine of the Trinity. Somehow Unitarianism hung on in various countries. To this day, Unitarians have accepted diversity within and beyond their own congregations, so it's fitting we share an annual service with our friends from Multifaith. This year's Multifaith service was mooted before Omicron emerged, and initially we had a back to normal headset about planning. Well, we had to pull our horns in and proceed with baby steps toward normality today. Our shared lunch will be more like shared snacks, so there'll be no accidental sharing of utensils. We'll have fewer speakers and we'll miss a few familiar faces due to COVID-related concerns. Incomplete vaccinations, surgery next week, hay fever or cold symptoms that need to be checked out, and so on. But my joy is we can proceed. Now,